the first time we got an inkling of how to, in a sense, blunt the Pakistani armored advances. We learned by sheer happenstance in the 65 war. When we discovered our lead armor going across Ichogil Canal, we discovered that as soon as Indian tanks hove into view and trained their guns on the Pakistani tanks and fired the first shell, usually it's a rounding shell, meaning you are trying to get it and you are trying to get the range. These days it's all automatic, but in those days there were no automatic range finders and so on. You would have a shot, and the second shot was the one to kill. At the first shot, you'd find Pakistanis jumping out of the tanks and running away. You know why? That's right. That they will be fried in the second shot, kill shot. And as Muslims, you don't want to have your die in fire. That's an old Islamic, whatever it is, prejudice. Well, what does it do to its armored forces? You can train all you want, but if at the first instance you're going to jump out of the tank and run away, all the armor is no use, right? Indian Army discovered that. And thereafter used it in PSYOPs. They go on the battlefield frequency and say, "Acha, abhi aapko, whatever it was, that we're going to fry you and send you to Jahannam, you be prepared for it and all this sort of thing worked. It was on the alpha link, which is on the battlefield frequency. You catch on to the Pakistani frequency, and they're all on, and they're saying, "Oh, abhi aapko theek kar denge, abhi Jahannam jaoge, aap kafir, you'll die a kafir." When you're burned, your body is burned, you die as a non-believer. So you work on their minds. So the tank driver, and they're sitting inside, they're listening to all this Indian chatter, communications chatter, and they're saying, "Oh, abhi aane wala hai, bas tumhe to khatam ho jayega, tum kafir baroge, kafir hoke." The tank crews were actually abandoning their tanks. General Harbaksh Singh, the great Western Army Commander 65, he told me that. He said, the first time we discovered these guys just running out, and then we said, "God, why didn't we use our brains? We should have done it before." That's right. We know these goddamn Punjabi Muslims. I'm using Harbaksh's terms, by the way. So, I'm a Punjabi Sikh. They're Punjabi Muslims. I understand them entirely. It's a cultural thing. We should have known this. But we got to know it only after these sorts of incidents were reported by our advancing armor. And that's why so many Pattons and Shafi tanks were captured in the 65 war. Do you know how many were captured? In excess of 75 tanks. 75 tanks!
About 30% of their entire capacity.
30% of them shot up, 25% came completely ready. We could have used it. And we did, by the way, incidentally. So, Patton tanks, that were the most modern. The Americans are saying, "What the heck are you guys doing?" So, this is PSYOPs. PSYOPs. You're working on the minds of the people handling the weapon. It is completely bogus. If you sit down and say, rationally say, "Well, there's nothing to it." But if you play on the religious acculturization factor, when you're saying, "Oh, you're going to die a kafir, oh, that's the worst thing that can happen to me," that's the end of it. You can't fight. You're disabled. You're psychologically disabled.